We need to talk. I just found a very scary chart telling us what may happen very soon, because if this is any indication of what's to come, if history repeats just like it's been doing here previously, then we need to be very, very cautious right now. Today, guys, I'm going to explain this. Also, I am going to explain whether, based on this chart, I am going to sell any of my crypto positions here or not. So guys, make sure to not just take the headline of this video, not just the intro, but I need to explain all of this in depth and what I am personally doing, guys. We'll go over all of the charts here. I will show you what you need to be prepared for this week and everything else, guys. So make sure to stick around from the beginning until the end of this video. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So guys, before we get into this crazy chart right here, which is looking very scary, I need to quickly talk about the shorter time frames here. So yesterday we just saw some sideways action. We went down a slight little bit here for Bitcoin, but I want to zoom in a little bit. I want to zoom into the 4-hourly time frame. And what you can see here is that we are on the lower time frames forming a little bit of a pattern right here. So you got this kind of formation. We're consolidating inside of this. And the question is, are we going to see a break out towards the upside or downside based on this chart? Well, let's look at this chart. So the first thing is that, or let's look at this pattern rather. So first thing is it's forming after a downtrend. And typically when we see consolidation patterns like this, they typically follows a downtrend, like they follow the move in which they came from. So since it's a downtrend, they typically follow along with the same. So that would suggest that it's more likely that we're gonna see another leg down here to $94,000. That's like in general. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about in general. We're coming from a downtrend. We're forming consolidation. In general, we typically see another downtrend. Also, if you look at this pattern in more detail, we have equal highs, slightly higher, we have equal lows or slightly higher lows, but yeah, more like equal lows. And then we have definitely lower highs. So since we are having equal lows, but the highs are getting weaker and weaker, the way you can think of it is like this. Every time we want to go up here, the bulls try to go up, take us up to higher prices. Every single time they try that, they get less and less powerful, and we just go down lower and lower for every attempt that they make for us to go up. That would also signal that this is a little bit more on the bearish side in the short term here. So we have a downtrend bias, we have consolidation with lower highs, which typically also means that it's looking likely that we are going to see this move towards the downside. However, remember that we have my orange line here at 99,800, and this is very important and this is extremely strong. So even if we break down from this, I still think that with my orange line here, you can see multiple times here, every single time we've gone down here, we have in fact seen my orange line hold up the Bitcoin price on the lower time frames. So if we were to still break down from this and see another leg down to $95,000, how would I look at the market? Would I say that we're in a bear market then? No, because I think that we're gonna see the peak in, like I've repeated time and time again for over a year, 2026, middle or even end of 2026 is possible. So we still have a few more months to go here in, almost 2 months more in 2025, and then the full 12 months in next year. So I don't think that we are seeing the top of the market just yet. And I think that we're going to see another leg upwards and we're going to see another rally for Bitcoin. So that's what I believe. We will see if in 12 months I would have been correct or not, but I will keep you updated in regards to that. But until then, every single dip to me is a buying opportunity. If we look at Ethereum, same thing here. We're consolidating, just going sideways, but everyone are just waiting for the next major move. You can see that Solana is right now resting on my orange line at 157. BNB also trying to break through my orange line. Now for my trading strategies, they have since yesterday just made a little bit more profit here on the algorithm side. Of course, since we've seen a pullback in the price, they are still, well, the Bitcoin strategy is still at a decent loss right here, but still looking good. Buying the drop here, buying the dip on the way down. And yeah, things apart from that, the altcoins are actually looking pretty good here for now, okay? But because I got in with such a big, I essentially doubled my Bitcoin strategy here at the absolute top. So my average price is not so good. In fact, let's look at the average price. My average price is $105,000. So that's not amazing, but it's still okay. It's still okay. And yeah, I think that's going to turn out to be very profitable moving forward. Now, if you want to use my trading strategies yourself, guys, you are able to claim some incredible bonuses over on Pionex if you sign up using this link right here and click on this to sign up first. And then you have all of my strategies right here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, BNB, and XRP, my main ones. So make sure to check those out if you want to use the same settings that I have been using here for my trading strategies. Okay, let's continue. So this is a very scary chart. A lot of people are fearful when they look at this, and this has been spreading a little bit, and I need to talk about it. So what you have here in black is the Bitcoin, sorry, it's the dollar index, the DXY. And then you have on the colored candles here, you have the Bitcoin price. And what we've seen typically in the past is that every single time when the DXY bottoms and starts to go up, Bitcoin gets very weak and we enter into a Bitcoin bear market. You can see it happen here in 2013. Here in 2018 as well, the dollar index bottomed, dollar index went up, Bitcoin topped in the same vicinity here. And you can see the Bitcoin top here as well in 2021. The first one, you can see that the dollar index did also bottom here, and then we went up here. And then right now what you can see is that we are also forming what looks like a bottom in the DXY. And now the question is, did Bitcoin top and are we going to go down severely here? Well, there's a lot of nuance to this chart, guys, and I need to explain it to you because this is going to be spread around. People are going to talk about this, but without giving context, then you could be misjudging this chart. So the first thing is that if you look at this bottom right here, you can see that Bitcoin actually did rally, even though, yes, this was the peak of the market at the time. We did go down, and then about a year, was that a year later? No, it was like, yeah, almost a year later, like 8 months later, we did actually go up and form the second peak. So this was $64,000, the first peak, and this was 69. So even though the dollar index, yes, did go up here, we didn't enter into the bear market. We did, in fact, go up and make a second peak here, okay? And the second thing I also want to talk about is that if you look at this bottoming signal right here, yes, and it looks like the DXY wants to go up higher, but look at this, here we also had a bottom, and this was going up here just for it to retrace a little bit. So we could go up here, retrace a little bit, and then see a big rally for the DXY. Now in general, fiat is going to lose value over time, but there's going to be periods when fiat, when the dollar index, when people are scared and they rush towards the dollar, and that's why the dollar index would be going up. But in general, I don't see us being in that kind of environment right now. And even though, yes, this is a very telling chart here, where you have the peaks and you have the bottoms of the DXY, it looks very clear. But if you look at these details that I just explained, it's not super clear. And I think that we're going to see a second peak here, or that this is going to start to roll over again and the DXY is going to continue towards the downside. So I just wanted to point that out, guys, because this is going to be spread around and I want to give you the full picture. Okay, second thing is what to expect for this week. There's not going to be a lot of announcements. I don't know if the inflation data is going to be released. I don't think so because of the government shutdown. But one thing to keep note of is what's going to happen with the US shutdown. So if the shutdown is going to end or not, that could be something to look out for this week. If you continue here, Coinbase went out and said that October's sell-off wasn't the end of the cycle. It may have been the reset it needed. So Coinbase going out here and saying essentially that we're going to go up higher. If you look at Michael Saylor said buy now. Now he's very bullish, we know. And he usually says like Bitcoin is bullish, I'm buying, I'm this. But this is a bit different because he rarely goes out and just with 2 words says buy now, like financial advice essentially. So yeah, that's also very interesting. And again, guys, this is him saying that. That's not me. I'm not any kind of financial advice on this video, by the way. I just want to make that clear. Always do your own research. But let's look at why we've been going down. So the Bitcoin ETFs have seen a very big outflow. In fact, if you look at throughout the last week, we have seen like multiple days with almost $500 million worth of outflows. Thursday was inflow again and then outflow on Friday. So the outflows we've seen is the largest amount since the crash in 2025, the beginning of 2025 here. Okay, this was still much more than we're seeing right now. But look at this, guys. When we saw those outflows right here at the beginning of 2025, this was actually the bottom. So, and also look at these outflows right here, also coincided with the bottom for the time for Bitcoin. So whenever we see these massive outflows, it typically is the bottom for Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. Also, the Coinbase premium has been going down. So it is trading at a discount right now, showing us that US institutions are selling a lot of Bitcoin. There's another massive whale, by the way, guys. I don't know if I brought up the chart. Okay, I don't have it. But there's a massive Bitcoin whale who is also starting to offload Bitcoin. He has a few $1 billion, but he's offloading Bitcoin right now. But with all of these whales, guys, remember, when they sell Bitcoin, that's it. They're out. And someone else is accumulating that. And over time, we're going to get rid of these OG whales who have been holding Bitcoin since 15 years ago. And that is all fine. They will, of course, I mean, if they've been in massive profit, they bought it so long time ago. Of course, they're going to take some profits. But remember, there's someone buying that as well. And we are seeing probably stronger hands accumulate those Bitcoins. On another note, I want to talk about a case here. So there was a lawsuit against two brothers who were doing some DeFi, they were using DeFi contracts and they were exploiting different protocols and they were earning money. So $25 million in exploits on Ethereum using DeFi. This lawsuit is very interesting because they actually canceled the lawsuit, or how did they say? There was a dispute. Yeah, so the mistrial, there's been a mistrial here. What does that mean? It means that the judge is not able to handle this. So the judge ended the trial of James and Anton Perrier because them trying to understand DeFi was just too much. The case had become an emotional strain and they could not reach an anonymous verdict. Half of the people in the jury spontaneously broke down in tears on Thursday, and some jurors had suffered multiple nights of sleeplessness during the 3 days they deliberated, they told the note. So the people that are judging the people in the case here, they just couldn't, they tried to understand DeFi, but they got anxiety, stress, they were not able to sleep. And here we are every day, guys, living throughout these things. So yeah, we are strong, we are in crypto, and yeah, that's very interesting. It was just like on a more funny note here that the jury here trying to understand DeFi got absolutely wrecked mentally. So that's what is the difference between us and normal people, I guess. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one.